Hey guys, this is the Prince of Macedon, doing a commentary battle, 4 squadrons of them. Here's my Barbarian Warlord, Barbarian Cavalry, and actually the bulk of my army is infantry. So, lots of swordsmen, lots of chosen swordsmen, lots of naked fanatics. Luckily, the naked fanatics aren't completely naked, because that would be really annoying to see. So anyways, my opponent picked the Julii Romans. So this is kind of a historical rivalry, the Gauls and the Julii. One of the most famous matchups between these two would be between Julius Caesar and Vercingetorix. Vercingetorix led the Gallic revolt against Caesar. He won some initial clashes against Caesar. His best victory was at Gergovia, in my opinion, because that was actually a major victory against a very big Roman force. The problem with that battle was when Caesar set up this elaborate plan to lure the Gauls off of the height advantage, but Vercingetorix saw through the ruse. And to top it off, Caesar's troops didn't get the memo that it was just a trick, so they kinda died. Note to self, always read the memo. Anyways, let's look at my opponent's army. His name's Kali 2345. He has 2 squadrons of Praetorian cavalry, and right here for some reason he left his infantry in a giant cluster. But this cluster consists of 3 urban cohorts. 2 of them are fully upgraded. And he has a Triarii unit in there, and 3 Hastati. But anyways, my opponent should move forward a little bit, so he can take advantage of this hill right here. Like, get on top of this hill and protect yourselves. I'm just marching forward here. For some reason did this structure here. I don't know, it's kind of pointless, but it looks cool though. So yeah, in my opinion, the Gauls in this game, they're really misrepresented, because like in history, these guys were the scourge of Europe. Like, they threatened Rome with destruction several times in the early days. And Julius Caesar didn't exactly have a field day against them either. Even at the time of Alexander the Great, the Gauls were completely vicious. Like, after the reign of Alexander, the Gauls actually threatened to destroy Macedonia. They actually invaded through Greece. They were finally turned back by the Macedonians, but not after several Macedonians, including a Macedonian king, was slaughtered in face of the Gallic horde. Alexander the Great himself actually met a Gallic embassy, and he asked the Gallic embassy a question. And that question was, what did they fear most? And he was expecting the Gauls to say Alexander. But the Gaul ambassadors replied, the only thing they feared was that the sky would fall on their heads. And that was basically a mockery of Alexander's question. Basically it meant they feared nothing. Anyways, I sent my barbarian to intimidate these Romans, because there's nothing more intimidating than a cavalryman not wearing a shirt. Anyways, I'm bringing the rest of my infantry up here. Yeah, so my opponent, he's just going to leave his men in this giant cluster right here. It's not very smart. Anyways, he sent his Praetorians to chase these swordsmen off the hill. But I'm going to send the bulk of my Gauls now in for the kill. Charge, Gauls, charge. So I can hear him throwing Pila already. I'm just gonna swarm this guy from all sides. As you can see, I forgot to use my war cry. So here's a scene from the top. Some of his units are rowdy now, including an urban cohort unit, which is fantastic for me, because I fear them more than the rest of his units. Tons of them are routing. See, the problem with it when you cluster like that, it's like the rout becomes contagious. Two of his urban cohorts are still in it, but I'm assuming those are the ones that are fully upgraded. Look at that giant cluster. You know what? It's horrible for him. Here's the scene from the carnage. His urbans are starting to rout now.
The enemy army is running like a startled hunted.
Some of his units came back into the battle. I killed his general. Some of his Hastati came back into the battle, but they weren't very smart. They should have ran with the rest of their comrades. And right behind is the Gallic horde.
The enemy are crushed like beetles beneath your heel. This is a stunning victory.
Yeah, Gauls typically don't win against Rome in the game. Anyways, that was a heroic victory. I got 634 kills, he got 288 kills. I had 668 survivors, my opponent only had 43 survivors. So not many Romans live to tell the tale. But, anyways, I'm just kidding, that was a good game. Good game to Kali 2345. Oh, typically when I play with the Gauls, I like listening to my Lord of the Dance soundtrack. It inspires my Celtic warriors to fight better than they should. Because everybody knows that in the game, the Gauls suck. And this was a lucky win, because my opponent didn't maneuver.